to part, I think, 6 of Let's Play Resident Evil 4. We're currently on the Switch version. Because I was originally doing this on the PS4 version, but it just worked out that the Switch version actually came out, and I was having trouble recording on the PS4 version. So, we're going to continue on. One thing that I did change that I think I mentioned, but, oh god. Oh, this part is not going well. This is not going well. Oh, man. Crap. I've actually, of course, I'm recording and now I'm gonna have all the trouble. Oh, god. Of course, I'm recording and now I'm gonna have all the trouble in the world. I've never had this much trouble getting through this area before. And now me and Ashley are both dying. So this is good. This is a good way to start the episode. Explaining things that I'm almost certain I've already explained, and almost dying. Part of me wants to just restart the video, but part of me just says, screw it, let's go. So we're actually going to use one of these on Leon, and one of these on Ashley, as much as I really hate using things on Ashley. So in the last part, Ashley, get in there. In the last part, we got a little farther into the village. We fought the El Gigante, or however you pronounce it, and now we're doing probably one of my least favorite parts of the entire game. I really don't like this part that's coming up, this part is actually single-handedly one of the main reasons why I decided to switch to normal mode on the Switch version, because this part sucks. I love this game so much, but this part is just ridiculously difficult. It sucks. It's just, I was not looking forward to doing it from the very beginning. But in some good news about this game, actually, on my PS4 version, I 100%ed the game. I have gotten everything before, this is really not going my way. I've gotten everything before, like hand cannon and everything. I didn't go through, so I guess I technically like 99% did it. I platinumed Resident Evil 4 on the PS4. I've beaten it on professional. I got like the Plaga removal laser, the Plaga removal laser, the infinite rocket launcher, the we might as well use that now. Just everything but the hand cannon, because in my personal opinion, I have done the hand cannon before, and it is not worth it at all, in my opinion. It's really not. The hand cannon is really, really powerful, but honestly, its power doesn't make up for how slow it can be. And at that point, you have things like the Plaga removal laser, the infinite rocket launcher, and if you do a certain extra thing, you can get the Chicago Typewriter. And in my opinion, the Chicago Typewriter is probably the best weapon in the game. Not counting the Plaga removal laser, because that even has a charge up. My favorite weapon, oh gosh darn it, my favorite weapon to use in this game is definitely the Chicago Typewriter, because it shoots really, really fast, and each bullet is pretty strong. I think the shooting power is about 10 per bullet, and it shoots just as much, if not a little faster than the TMP. So the hand cannon's just not worth it. And getting 5 stars on every single map with every single character in the Mercenaries is a ridiculous stipulation, and is not worth it. It's insanely difficult to me, and just the hand cannon is not a worthy prize. but I went through on the PS4 version, I beat it on Professional, did everything else. You know, I have tons and tons and tons of treasures because I've played through the game so many times, and I refuse to sell anything anymore because I don't need to buy anything. Hurry up, Ashley. So the only thing, and then I went through and did the, all the bottle caps, because that was the last thing I had to do. And, I think what I was trying to get to with this story was actually the shooting range, but I took a 5-minute way roundabout to explain that. So I was doing the shooting gallery, and I learned something, and this made me really glad that I'm doing the Switch version, because I haven't noticed it in the Switch version yet. The PS4 version really, really, really sucks. And I don't mean that like, oh, I hate that version, I'm never playing it again. In my opinion, it's actually probably the best version of the game. Going just solely off of casual play. It's a great version of the game. They upped the, whatchamacallit, they upped the, wait, why do I have the, oh, I was buying, I was like, why do I have the Punisher still? It's a great version to just casually play. To 100% it though, I learned something very important. The aiming in the PS4 version is very, 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 slippery. Leon jerks around like he just sniffed a line of coke. And it makes doing the shooting galleries very, very difficult. For anybody who doesn't know, in order to get bottle caps, you have to do these shooting ranges, and you have to get 3,000 points. Body shots give you 50, headshots give you 1,000, and then shooting Ashley, I think takes away 100, but in the later games takes away 1,000. Or headshots give you, either one, it takes away points. And then if you get 4 or 5 consecutive shots in on enemy targets, a Salazar, a little tiny Salazar head goes around the back of the gallery, and if you shoot it, that's 500 points. They're neat. I'm gonna show off at least one of them in this playthrough. I'm not gonna do all of them because I might, because it might be a whole lot more doable in the Switch version, but in the PS4 version, I was trying to do them because that was the only trophy I didn't have. I wanted to platinum Resident Evil 4, which I actually learned Resident Evil 4 doesn't have a platinum trophy, I just 100%ed it. So I 100%ed the trophies, and that was the last thing I had to do. The other stipulation with the shooting ranges is that you can only use set guns that the merchant gives you. There's a sniping configuration, which is the handgun, and the base rifle, which the base rifle sucks for the shooting range because the loading animation takes forever. And then the automatic, or the rapid fire, I think it's called, configuration, which is the TMP and the base shotgun, which the shotgun's better in my opinion to use, but it kind of sucks because it's the shots spread out, and because of that, even if you're aiming dead on an enemy target's head, the spread could still hit the body, and you could end up only getting a 50 points. And when you're trying to do, when you're trying to make sure you get 100s as often as possible, it really, really sucks. So the shooting ranges already are pretty difficult. And then I looked it up, I'm not the only one with this problem. The aiming on the PS4 version is very, very slippery. So aiming dead on the enemy heads is extremely difficult. Oh gosh. And it's just, it makes an already kind of minigame kind of more in my opinion. It's honestly just something I would do just to 100% the game. And that's what I did. I really don't think I need to do the shooting range. I really don't feel the need to do it. I don't feel like it's very necessary or even really fun, honestly. Again, I might show it just for the sake of showing it in the playthrough, but I don't think I will do... I don't think I'm going to get every single bottle cap like I did in my PS4 version. I only... Oh god, these things hurt so bad. I really only did that in that version of the game because I wanted to have a completed 100% file. And I did it, and I don't want to do it again because I've played this game hundreds of times, if not borderline thousands, and I'm not even exaggerating. I've played this game ever since it came out, and I play it so often. And for me to sit here and say that the shooting ranges suck should really tell you that they suck really bad. You know what else sucks? This part of the game. This is my single least favorite part. Well, I don't know if it's my single least favorite, because we'll get into a part on the island that, God, I hate so much. But it is probably one of my least favorite parts in the entire game. I really, really hate this house segment. Basically, what's happening is they burned the bridge that they all came across, and are now storming the house. And luckily, Ashley is hidden, so they can't. You don't have to worry about her at all. But, they're breaking into the house. They now put up ladders. And there's really... I don't want to say it's never ending, because technically it's not. But it is... There's so many that it feels like it goes on for a long time. And let me just tell you, on professional mode, where these guys, like those wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man plagas, those things can kill you in damn near 2 hits. I would argue that they could probably kill you in about maybe 3, depending on how many yellow herbs you have, like, you've used. I would say that you're not going to get past more than 2 hits regularly from them. They do that much damage on professional, and it gets a little ridiculous, especially when you get to this point. I consider when you get upstairs to be about the halfway point, because it's more, I think it's time-based. I think that you have to just, like, deal with as many of them as you can, in an allotted amount of time. It's kind of like the village section, but way worse, in my opinion. Because they're just coming from so many different places, and it's impossible to keep track of all of them at a time. So yeah, this part is a lot of fun, and I mean, the good thing is that if you do it right, you can walk away with quite a bit of goods, and it honestly, similarly to the village, it's either time based or enemy based. It very may well be based on how many enemies you kill, because I went through this. I played the game in one sitting yesterday so that I could get through all of the shooting ranges as fast as possible, so I could 100% it. And I went through this segment using the plug removal laser, which insta-kills everything. Like, if it's fully charged, it will insta-kill everything in the game. And I was using that in the segment, and me and Lewis actually never had to come upstairs. I think I killed that many enemies that fast that I did not have to, the game just did not make me come upstairs. And I'm not sure whether it's because it's enemy based, or maybe it's time limit based, and like, killing enemies makes the time limit go faster. I'm not sure on that. If that is the case, that's kind of neat. I think that's how the village segment works, but I could be wrong. The village segment, either you have to kill a certain amount of enemies, or it's a time limit. Or it's a combination of both. I'm not sure, but either way, the village part, you could run around, kill an enemy, and it felt like it was, going quick. This part just feels so long, and it's in such a close proximity is the problem. I think the village, I think the village was better because at the very least it was wide open, and if you felt like you were getting claustrophobic, you could run away. Um, you could get away from the enemies and feel like you could breathe a little bit. In this segment, if the house gets overrun, which it will, because there's really no way, unless you're playing this game again on New Game Plus, that you're going to be able to kill every single enemy, before it gets at least even a little bit out of hand. It will get out of hand. And unlike the village where you could plant yourself, and keep a pretty good grip on things, in this segment, it just really doesn't feel like you can. And it feels like one of those moments that's a little bit unfair, especially playing this game on professional mode. Like a dry run on professional mode without any special weapons or anything. Good lord, this game on professional mode sometimes. I love this game to death. I've played this game to death. I kind of want the stock for the Red 9, now that I think of it. But it's just, that is the one segment of the game that I will forever kind of hate. There are a couple, and I'll probably make sure to point them out as I remember them. Really only two, yeah, let's discard that. Really only two come to mind, but that is one of them. Just because of, why am I saving? If you cancel it, yes. Just because it sucks. And that's part of that house, and at least two other moments that I can think of is exactly the reason I decided to pick normal. Because trying to talk softly for the videos and not get frustrated at this game on professional mode doing dry run, I could do it, but it was just one of those things of like, why force myself to do that? And maybe that was part of the joy of watching it, and if so, oh well. I really didn't want to go through that. I love this game, and I will continue to play this game probably up until I die. But doing the base dry run of professional mode always sucks. Speaking of another part that honestly kind of sucks, but is not nearly as bad, is this. Yes, the boulder. Ashley, run, please. I sniped those for a reason. So, the El Gigante, or Gigante, I don't know, will pop up behind you. And you can fight it, definitely. Like, there's no reason why you can't. In fact, on every professional mode playthrough that I have special weapons, I always fight it. Because it's really easy to kill. But, it runs really fast. And if you are just doing a dry run of the game, I would recommend not fighting it, because nothing in that room is really that worth it, in my opinion. Nothing in that room is really that worth it. And especially with Ashley, it's really easy for the Gigante to accidentally, or I guess purposely, hit Ashley instead of you. And Ashley can really only take one hit from anything. So I would recommend just running away. And I completely forgot to read that paper that was in the room with the house, but if I go back, I have to deal with the Gigante. Oops. Well, we have this one, Village's Last Defense. I clearly underestimated the American agent's capability. He's still alive. I thought that we could wait until the egg hatched, but at this rate he could destroy the whole village before it does. We must take care of this nuisance. We shall change our priorities. For the time being, we will cease our hunt for Luis and ambush the two Americans. There's a building used to enlighten betrayers just beyond the point where you get off the lift. It's a perfect place for ambushing them, if all else fails. They still would need to face me in order to get past the last gate that leads out of the village, for only before my sight will the gate open. So, yeah, boss fight time. Well, then next part. But, yeah, no, I feel like I spent this whole part talking about what sucks, but oh well, I mean, what else was I going to talk about? Um, really, nothing happened in terms of killing things. God, you are so boring. Nothing really happened in terms of killing things that was that interesting to talk about. But yeah, no, that segment, the El Gigante, I would recommend just running away from. And then I guess something else that I can go over is that stick that we turned to the right has two options to the left. This door is the other pathway. There's two pathways. And actually that paper that I forgot to read talks about the two pathways. The right pathway I always take because it has the El Gigante and you can just run away. I do have a little bit of trouble running away sometimes where the Gigante catches up to me, but I have more luck running away from the Gigante than I do with this path. I have only done the left path one time in my entire time of playing this game. What is over this path is tons and tons and tons and tons of enemies that feel like they just keep going. Like, I feel like I'm pretty sure I took, like, almost 20 minutes in that area. Just that area, the first time I did it. On top of that, we have chainsaw guys. But in that area, there's two chainsaw women that appear at the same time. And at this point, you only have the base shotgun. And even if you've been upgrading it, it's really not that good. So, that segment sucks, in my opinion. Especially unprofessional. The only way that I got through it, because I don't remember what exactly happened, but I was in a circle area, and Ashley crouched in the middle, and these two chainsaw chicks came out of nowhere and were running straight for her. I shot a rocket launcher right above Ashley's head, and it blew up against the wall. Somehow didn't kill Ashley, but killed the two chainsaw girls. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how I managed that, but it was the only way that I got out of that room. After that, I have never gone back through that pathway because it sucks. That is one of those moments where I really don't like that segment, but it is optional, so I'm not going to label it as one of the worst parts of the game, because it is optional. You can just go through the Gigante way, and the El Gigante takes a lot less ammo, in my opinion, and also you can run away from if you don't feel like killing it. Also, Ashley, how are you doing that with your hair? And your skirt? How are you doing that? We're in a house. And I'm pretty sure that window's... Well, I guess that window is broken. Whatever. With all that ranting, 22 minutes of ranting and getting through just a little bit of the game, we killed a lot of enemies, but that's about it. In the next part, we are actually going to get very, very close to the next area of the game, the castle, which is both my favorite and least favorite part of the game, honestly. I really don't know whether I love or hate the castle, because the castle has a lot of points that I hate, but also some of the most memorable moments. But I guess we'll figure that out over the course of the Let's Play, and in the next part we'll get real close to getting into the castle. So I hope everybody enjoyed. If you did, please let me know. If you didn't, please let me know. And hopefully I will see you for part... What is this, 6? So hopefully I'll see you for part 7, where hopefully I'll have something else to talk about other than all the parts that I don't like about this game.